Auspicious. A review of the Omaha Symphony concert. September 25, 2021. Auspicious, showing or suggesting that future success is likely. This weekend's trio of Omaha Symphony concerts were certainly auspicious, and beyond that, they celebrate the 100th anniversary of the orchestra as well as the first concert conducted by Ankush Kumar Bahl, the orchestra's new music director. Maestro Bahl chose a program that demonstrates his desire to feature more American composers and visiting artists. The program began with the traditional Star-Spangled Banner and was followed by a lush version of America the Beautiful, which Bahl dedicated to those who have been affected by the pandemic and those who helped others during this difficult time. Next came a brief video interview of John Adams, one of OU's leading composers and who penned The Chairman Dances, to be played first on the program. Maestro Bahl has a long-standing friendship with Adams, and it was great to see their comfort with each other in this interview. Adams talked about the history of Chairman and about the opera from which it is extracted. He also expressed his delight that Bahl has assumed the music director position in Omaha. Then John Adams' mid-1980s work, The Chairman Dances, followed on the program. 2 was originally composed for his opera, Nixon in China. Since its premiere, this foxtrot for orchestra is frequently programmed and may be the composer's most famous piece. It was written in Adams' early, minimalist period, a descriptor that the composer dislikes. But at the time it was penned, minimalism was characterized by repetition, lacking the structures, ornamentations, and references to historical styles. This is a challenging work for both conductor and musicians. It has great forward momentum, yet unwinds about halfway through in the manner of a hand-cranked Victrola. The challenge is to keep a sense of the forward movement, even within that speed variation. Maestro Bahl succeeded beautifully and the Omaha musicians played artfully, in spite of the technical challenges of the music. The first violins were particularly strong, with a cohesion that was remarkable. Pianist Aaron Deal joined the symphony and Maestro Bahl for a performance of Gershwin's 1931 Second Rhapsody, a work that fell into relative obscurity after its premiere, but which has been revived of late. Originally written to be music for the movie Delicious, Gershwin later reworked it to stand on its own. This rhapsody does not stray far from the formula the composer used in his more famous Rhapsody in Blue, except the second lacks the lyrical charm of the earlier work. Unfortunately, this rhapsody relies heavily on the rushed pedestrians, speeding cars, frantic urbanity, musical images found in the composer's other works. It's a raucous piece where the piano bangs nearly as loudly as the orchestra plays. The music was performed with confidence and technical skill by the orchestra and Mr. Deal, and if one admires Gershwin, then this performance likely brought it home for you. For the rest of us, it was most notable for its unrelenting high volume. During this performance, the orchestra members and Mr. Deal were highlighted on a large video screen hovering above the stage. 6 cameras around the auditorium captured the live action. The video gave a close-up view of the musicians at work, and it was nice to see the camera actually highlight someone who was playing rather than randomly selecting, for example, a musician who was counting beats during a rest. Mr. Deal continued as the soloist for William Grant Still's 1940 Out of Silence, which was originally part of a larger piece titled 7 Traceries. Traceries are the ornamental stone work that is used in Gothic-style stained glass windows, and Still's work is spiritually inspired. Still was the first black composer to have a symphony performed by a U.S. orchestra, the Los Angeles Philharmonic. The piece is lovely and one might say, mystical. It sounds a bit like an English Idol and has a neo-romantic, impressionist style. Mr. Deal played with great sensitivity and the orchestral playing was lush. The music of William Grant Still is having a renaissance, and deservedly so. It is accessible and captivating. During this performance, a slideshow was shown featuring pictures of the past 100 years in Omaha as well as renderings of developments in the city that will influence the next 100 years. The final work on the program was Beethoven's mighty 1812, Seventh Symphony. The symphony is a rhythmic juggernaut that is replete with drive and development. The composer was a master at repeating thematic material, altering it, and restating it throughout the various sections of the orchestra. His thematic inventiveness is particularly noticeable in the second movement allegretto, aka the funeral march, and in the finale. Maestro Bahl took advantage of the music's dynamics to ensure that inner voices were never lost in the larger orchestral context. This was a solid performance with unrelenting drive and energy. It was breathtakingly good. Kudos to the French horns, the timpani, and the low strings for their powerful playing. No review of the Omaha Symphony can leave out a mention of the luxurious acoustics of its home, the Holland Center for Performing Arts. The Peter Kuit Auditorium provides a broad sound stage, and a great sense of sound depth, creating a spectacular effect. The reverberation is wondrous, the sonic fade of a chord is clean and warm. No doubt about it, this was an auspicious concert, beautifully played and nicely staged. Judging from it, the future looks bright for the Omaha Symphony and its new music director, Ankush Kumar Bahl.